Habib, Regional Manager with Wani Foundation for the WE program and the WO program. Um, Today we're actually hosting a master class by Dr. Mayar Farag about authentic marketing, your gate to brand love. I'm so excited about this session, by the way, because just to know your speaker, she's Dr. Mayar Farag. She's the head of marketing department in the Chinese University. She's the manager of technology transfer office. She's a freelance marketing consultant and HR consultant for several prominent premises. She's an adjunct lecturer at the American University in Cairo at the School of Continuing Education and an adjunct lecturer at Arab Academy for the MBA program. She's also a motivational speaker, and she's humbly accepting our invitation to actually moderate this masterclass. So, Dr. Mayar, you're most welcome. Please start. Thank you so much actually for accepting our invitation.
Thank you so much, Mariam. Thank you, Wadwani, for hosting me today. It's always my pleasure, and it will always be my pleasure. Thank you so much for that. Okay. Hi, everyone. I know it's Friday. I know it's a relaxing mood, but let's jump up and join me today in this session. Our topic is a really very interesting topic, which is authentic marketing. And I'm so into the brand love. So how can we reach brand love through authentic marketing, and what is really authentic marketing? This is what we are going to tackle in today's session. What we are going to be talking about today or tackling today is what is really authentic marketing. What do we mean by authentic marketing, and why is it important? Also, what would be the strategies, and how can we understand our customer so that we can reach the brand love that we're talking about? I know 1 hour is not really enough to tackle such a topic, or to be talking about authentic marketing, as it's a huge topic, and also brand love is a huge topic. But I'm going to try to give you يعني hints كده about the topic, and how can we in brief capsules know how to manage our authentic marketing. If you are a student and you want to know more about authentic marketing, if you are a startup and you want to know more about how to be authentic and how to reach your audience in a way that maintains loyalty, and if you are a corporate marketing consultant, employee or manager, or if you are a consultant and you're interested in the authentic marketing topics. So this is going to be the best capsule that you are going to take today. So let's start by a very nice statistic from the HubSpot. 86% of consumers prefer authentic and honest brand personality on social media. So what do we mean by authentic? Authentic means genuine. It means unique. It means pure. You're talking real. You're not fake. This is what we mean by authentic. So actually, by seeing the statistics and knowing the statistics, a very huge percentage of the consumers nowadays are really aware and are alert of the different messages that they are receiving, and whether those messages or those brands are faking it or they are providing the real thing. Nowadays, consumers, they are not like before. They do have a variety of brands, and they have the word, they have the choice, they have the power. Before, maybe we didn't have the varied brands and the diversified brands that we have nowadays. And due to the technology and due to the it's only one click and you can find all the brands that you want. So people are now really caring about whether this brand is standing for them, whether this brand is really believing the way they are believing, and whether this brand is authentic or not. So as you can see, 86% is a huge number that really care about authentic and honest brands. Okay. So most of the brands, you can find that their main concern is to buy their product. Authentic brands, they have another way to look at it. The inauthentic message, it goes viral and it affects the reputation of the brand. Nowadays, you can find people surfing the net all the time. They are talking about the brands. They are talking about people that represent them. People, I mean by people, the brand, the celebrities, those are also brands. So they are talking about them. You know, the issue of Muhammad Ramadan lately went viral through the internet. People were talking about it. Buzz marketing was there. Uh, People are with him, people are against him. The last thing that he came up with on TikTok, it was him being in a devastated mood. He was crying. He was telling his audience, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry." As you can see nowadays, the customer is really in power. The customer is no longer ready to hear inauthentic or inaccurate statements. The customer nowadays, they have the choice. They don't want to listen to what we call as the BS messages. Okay. So I want to show you an ad, and after this ad, I want to know how did you see the brand? How did you feel about the brand? Was the main focus of the ad the brand or something else? Okay, so let's see this video together. Let's see this ad together, and then I wanna, and you can write. They can write, right? You can write. You cannot talk. You can write. The audience can write or they cannot write. Yes, you can. Let me see the chat. Yes, you can write. Okay. So let's see this ad together and then we can discuss further.
Ma'am, we are not getting any audio, ma'am.
Hello. I'm on. I'm on. I'm live. Live. Yeah, the bye. Okay, unfortunately, everyone, we are not getting any audio. I
Yes,
think
ma'am.
you
Yeah.
can. I think you have to check this from your side,
No, ma'am.
since I'm not.
When you're sharing the screen, there is a share with audio option, ma'am. You have to check that one.
Okay. So
Can you stop the sharing once?
I stopped the sharing. Okay.
Just share the
Share
screen.
again.
Yeah, there is a box like share with
Share.
audio.
Yes. Share the sound. Yes. Okay, I got it. Okay. طيب, let me يعني explain if you didn't get the video, the ad. So from what you saw, يعني, they were conducting a meeting so that they can get the job done at the end of the day. From what you saw, even if you didn't hear, from what you saw, was the ad focusing on Apple products or it was focusing on something else? Right for me? Was the main focus on Apple, buying Apple products? Was it like that? What do you think? You can write. So what do you think, guys? Was the ad focusing on Apple products? Buying Apple products, please buy the Apple products. Was it like that? Can you hear me, guys? We can't hear the ad. Okay. Can you hear me? It was focusing on the working atmosphere, I guess. Yes, very good. It was focusing more on people at work, the tense they have when they have a meeting, when they want to get the job done. It was actually focusing more on the people condition at the workplace and how everything is going on and how Apple is providing a helping hand, how Apple products is providing a helping hand without them saying that these are the Apple products, please buy them. So the message itself is, the main focus of the message is the customer or the product. What do you think? The main message was focusing on the customer or the product. What do you think? Ala? So Dina, Sundus, Ale, everyone, what was the main focus? The customer. Excellent. Yes. And this is very good. I think it's very warm. Yes. So this is what we call the brand authenticity. The brand authenticity. The brand authenticity means that when we talk about brands, generally speaking, those who take the approach of being authentic, their main focus is the consumer. Their main focus is their own customer. They don't really focus on product, okay? They don't really focus on buying the product. They focus about solving the customer problem and solving and making or creating a connection between the company and the customer. So when we talk about brand authenticity, actually we were talking about two scenarios. We're talking about the customer company relationship and we are talking about the social relationship. And I'm going to explain that in no time. Thank you, Ala. Okay. So what do we mean by brand authenticity? When we talk about brand authenticity, we have to take into consideration, as I told you, we have something which is called the customer company relationship, which is number one. In this relationship, we have two things that we have to value. We have something which is called the continuity and the credibility. Continuity means how the consumer perceives the brand faithful to its own self, how the brand itself value itself. This is, and how they value itself and how they care about their continuity. We all know the story of Nokia and how Nokia didn't take this continuity into consideration. They did not value or they were not faithful to their own self. Nokia was like that, Kodak was like that. They didn't care really about their continuity because they were not focusing on the market. They were focusing on their own excellence at that point. So being faithful to your own self as a brand, it means that I want to continue. I want to be there in the market. I want to be like Apple. I want to be like Samsung. I want to be like those brands. I want to continue. So this is an aspect. Another aspect, which is the side of the consumer, which is me as a brand, I am fulfilling the needs and fulfilling the expectations and fulfilling the promises of the customer. Okay, and this what we call as credibility. So if we are talking about the aspects, the first aspect, which is the company and customer relationship, we have to focus on corporate orientation. So when we talk about brand authenticity, the first thing that we have to talk about is their corporate orientation. And what do we mean by corporate orientation? It's the company customer relationship. And in this relationship, the company, the brand itself, should be focusing on continuity and should be credible. By credible, I mean that they are fulfilling their promises, and by continuity, I mean they are faithful to their own brand. Okay? So this is the first aspect. What is the second aspect of the brand authenticity? It's the social issues. And for the social issues, we have also two things to take into consideration. We have the integrity, and by integrity, I mean that they care and they are responsible about the community. They really care about the community and they are responsible for the community. Another aspect, which is the symbolism. The symbolism. The symbolism means that my own values as a brand matches the values of my customers. So we are both talking the same language. We both know the same symbols. We use the same symbols. We talk the same language. We share the same values. And this is what we call as social relationship. And brands who follow or those who take into consideration the social relationship, those are the real authentic brands. Okay, so you are going to find many brands, they are working on the corporate orientation that we talked about earlier. Only authentic are going to take into consideration the second dimension, which is the societal orientation, which is really authentic. Okay, so throughout what we are going to cover in the coming slides, we have to be focusing on the two issues, whether this brand is only looking at the corporate orientation or is it taking into consideration the societal orientation. That's why it's being authentic. Okay? So if we want to know the authentic brands, what are the shared characteristics of authentic brands? How can I know that those authentic brands are authentic? First of all, they don't try to sell to everyone. As I told you, now we saw Apple. The main focus of Apple is not please buy my brand, please buy my brand. No, no, no. People go for Apple to be part of the Apple community, to be a part of the Apple values. They know, they do understand the audience very well, and they know how to tackle them. Most of the authentic brands, they do have communities and they care about communities because, as we mentioned earlier, they have this societal orientation. Also, they try to build emotional connection with their audience. I care about you. I feel you. I know how stressed you are. These kind of messages show how the emotional connection is between the authentic brand, and we are going to see many examples in the coming slides. Also, the content itself should be real and authentic. And by real and authentic, we are going to talk about that in coming strategies. How can the brand be authentic when it comes to the content itself? Okay, let's see why authentic marketing is really important. Why is it important? Why fact is more valued than fake? As we saw the percentage, why is it really important to have facts rather than fake messages? Now you can see that consumers are really overwhelmed with the many messages that we have. We have many messages on social media. We have messages on Facebook. We have messages on Instagram, Twitter. We have many, many messages. Nowadays, because of the overwhelming messages of the ads and things like that, we can see that we have some statistics like 45% of people from age 15 to 25, which is the Z generation, they use the ad blockers. They don't want to see the ads anymore. They are overwhelmed with ads. They don't really care about ads. And you can see that 42% also they use ad blockers. Those people are either the millennials or the X generation. They are fed up of the fake messages and the amount of messages that they are hearing. This is the first thing. Another thing which is really very important is people nowadays, they have the BS detector. And the BS detector, you cannot fool customers anymore. They can easily tell the lie. They can easily tell that you're faking it, that you're not real. According to many statistics, people know that a fake message is no longer going to be credible anymore, and this brand is no longer going to be credible anymore. So people are really afraid nowadays. Brands are really afraid nowadays to have such kind of fake messages, so that people are alert than before. And we have also certain applications that can detect fake messages from unfake ones. Consumers nowadays more conscious to brand values. They really care about ecological issues, and they care about the environment, and they care about people who care about the environment and people who care about the communities. People are tend to join more communities than just products. So people are not really caring about whether your product is fascinating or not. They care about what you're doing to the community and whether you're helping the planet, you're helping the environment, or you're not. A very good example of that is Airbnb. As you know, Airbnb is not only providing an online platform for sharing private home owners all over the world. They also included hotels. They included amenities. They included leisure things. They experiences, places to eat, cooking classes, even swimming pools, things like that. What Airbnb wanted to do differently in their business model, that they focused on the trust issues. It's a common stereotype that you will never go to a stranger's house because you are afraid. Yani, you're not really trusting that person, and you cannot trust people, especially if they're in another country. They wanted to just make sure that people don't have those trust issues by creating storytelling. Storytelling by sharing experience and having a community for Airbnb. And this community shares each and every visit, or they share their experiences in different countries with different hosts, so that people can know more about people that they're going to and the country that they are going to, and whether they are going to enjoy it or not, the kind of activities that they are going to find. They can also add things like understanding cultures, understanding the cuisines, things like that. So they try to overcome the trust issues by creating life experience in the community, and having this all on their YouTube channel and their website. So it's a very good example. Also, Airbnb, they did an evolution from just providing homes or houses to belonging anywhere, to providing homes. From houses to homes, they wanted to they are focused a customer-focused brand, focusing more on the well-being, focusing more on sharing experiences, focusing more on enjoying the whole world and traveling the whole world in the cheapest means possible. So they shifted from travel like a human to belong anywhere, to share this authentic feeling about your right to fly to the world, to the globe, and to see the kind of historical places and amazing places that we can find everywhere. So we can call Airbnb as 100% focused brand on customer, because they also adapt to the sake of customers every now and then, and they're centric. And we are going to see Bardo in the coming slides things that they are doing regarding the issues of societal orientation. Um, okay. So to uh, go straight forward to the strategies that we are going to use, let us enjoy together 13 main strategies that we can use in order to reach this authentic marketing and gain the brand love that we focus on. In order to gain brand love, generally speaking, we have to focus on, as we mentioned before, we have to focus on community, we have to focus on engagement, and we have to focus on loyalty. So how can we do this as a brand? This what we are going to be seeing in the 13 strategies that I'm going to talk about in a minute. Okay, so strategy number one is your story. You have to have an authentic story, a unique story, a genuine story, a story that you can tell to a friend. We have a brand in Egypt, it's called Hamza. It's a restaurant, and it's called Hamza. Hamza is a brand. He was an engineer. He shared the story on his Facebook page, and he said, "Well, I'm an engineer, and I did a restaurant for my elder son, and now I'm doing another one for my younger son, and I'm doing this as a sort of love, and I shifted my career. I want to have a better life for them." And he started talking from the heart. He started talking and saying and talking more about his own story and his son's story, and why he did this Hamza restaurant, and why he is sharing this with us. And his page went viral. Yeah, you cannot imagine the amount of comments and likes. It was like 200,000 likes and comments in no time. It went really viral because he was sharing a story from the heart. So it's really very important. There is also another Egyptian brand, which is it's called Ishimiro ramen. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. The founder is an engineer also. His name is Amr. He was invited in my university, and he was started to talk about his journey and his passion, and how he likes anime, the Japanese animation. And from this passion about anime, he was thinking of a business opportunity, and he thought of creating comics. And then he looked at the market, and he saw a potential to have his own Japanese ramen. And he named his business as Ishimiro. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Ramen. So those kind of stories and those kind of and stories, they show how authentic you are, and they show your signature, that this brand belongs to you and no one but you. So this is the strategy number one. The other thing is, number two is, you have to engage your audience. You have to be there with your audience, engaging with your audience. That's why now, when I'm not hearing your voices and I'm not connecting with you, I feel that I'm not engaging with my audience. But with a brand, you have to engage with your audience. And how can we do this? Let me give you an example. Let's see how Airbnb engage with their audience. Can you hear?
It's all about realizing
Just tell me if you can hear.
that in the end we're not so different from each other.
Very good.
Everything is just beautiful.
The main thing I love about hosting is
the magic of traveling.
Homes, experiences, and places together.
So they created their
in one place.
YouTube channel, which has 200,000 subscribers, just to engage with their people, make their people able to see the different experiences that they're having, the many stories that they are sharing, and people that are going to host you and their stories and their passions and things like that. So those kind of engagement, they make you relieved, they make you يعني less fear about what you're going to and what you're and host that you're going to. Another thing which is done also by Airbnb is the Airbnb magazine. It's really fascinating. Yani when I read in this magazine, I feel that I went to this spectacular place and I went to those places. You can also hear and listen to stories about people, about islands, about places that you have never see before. And you are going to find many travel hacks that you can use, advices. People are posting advices, and you can find many things if you are interested about traveling. So those kind of things, whether the magazine, the website, the YouTube channel, all these things, they engage, they facilitate the engagement with the audience, and they help you see how people feel and the kind of experiences, as I told you, that you are going to go through. Okay, number 3, which is the content. You have to create an outstanding, authentic content. And what I mean by that, as you can see, 57% of the consumer, they really care about your content, and whether your content is authentic or not, whether you are providing real issues and real stuff about your brand, or you're just faking it and you're just saying nonsense. This is really important because, when you look, for example, at Red Bull website, you are going to see the main focus of Red Bull is not Red Bull itself, is not the product itself. The main focus is the experiences that they're providing, the lifestyle, the community, sharing values, sharing excitement, things like that, and how Red Bull is part of the community. It's part of the people. The main focus here is going to be the people. So the content is really very important. And when you use content, don't rely on the content that is focusing on your product and that's it. No, try to focus on the content that is really tackling the issues that your target customer is focusing on, things that they like. If they are into experience and into sharing knowledge, you have to provide this for them. If they are into community services and things related to the planet, you have to share such things with them. So watching your content is really very important as an important aspect of being authentic. Number 4, which is listen, process, and validate. And this is really very important because you have to listen to your customers. It's very important to listen to your customer and pay attention to the terminology, to the phrases that they say, to the things that they want to pinpoint, to their pain points. You have to focus on those issues. Let me tell you the example of Starbucks. يعني there was a policy in US Starbucks that it was not allowed to wear T-shirts written Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. It was by policy. They had a policy that does not allow such T-shirts to be worn. They had customers complained a lot, and they had customers complained, external customers and the internal customers, the employees, they complained. Many people complained, and they started يعني they started striking and things like that. And then Starbucks listened, and what they did is that they manufactured 250,000 T-shirts written Black Lives Matter, and they gave it to their employees and made their employees wore that. And by this, they did a process, and they validated the concerns and the voices of their customers, and they showed a respect, and they showed understanding to their customers and to their values. So by this, what did Starbucks did? They listened, they processed, and they validated the customer voices. So this is very important, because sometimes you find brands that they say, well, this is, and we are going to be giving an example of such brands. They are either faking their messages, or they are not really caring about customer opinion, and they want to just facilitate their policies. They have nothing to do with authenticity. So number 5 is community. Community is really very important. You are going to find Apple, for example, they have community, they have support communities, they support schools, they support summer camps, they support ecological issues, things related to the planet, they support disabled children, they have a community that is really very supportive, and they support each other. And this is really very important. You know, we have a community here, an Egyptian band, which is Ahli and Zamalek. And I know that today we have an Ahli and Zamalek match. So I want you to cool down. No offense. We have the Ultras Ahli, and we have another Ultras for Zamalek. So these are communities that they defend their brand to the extreme. They love their brand, they defend their brand, they stand up for their brand, they support their brand. Why? Because the brand created a community for them. These brands, these communities, they then support each other, and they support the brand itself. So being authentic is about creating community, and this is very important. Now, something which is really very authentic, let me say, which is walk the talk. Here we are going to see the example, how Amazon, they talked about something and they walked into something else. So let's see the example of Amazon, and then we can discuss it further.
Right now, delivering the things people need has never been more important. To all of our Amazon retail heroes on the floor, in the air, and behind the wheel, we want to thank you. We'll continue to do everything we can to keep you healthy, safe, and protected. The work you're doing.
Okay, here guys, what do you think about this ad? Can you write, please? Okay, best service is Starbucks. Yes, very good. Can you tell me, after seeing this Amazon ad, what do you think about it? Is Amazon authentic in this ad? What do you think? Did you like the ad? What did you feel about the ad? Anyone? Anyone wants to share? Calling them heroes is so sweet. Yes, authentic. Okay, so let's see the other ad of Amazon.
My typical morning, my cat usually jumps on my face. And my alarm goes off about 4 o'clock. I cry for about a good 3 minutes. Usually during the day, I am numb. I am on autopilot. So I give myself that 3 minutes to let everything out so that way I don't, have a breakdown. I grocery shop for thousands, maybe millions of people a day. I don't know. We're the back, legs, arms. We are the body of Amazon. We don't need your thank you commercials. We need better protections and to be paid what we deserve.
Amazon has reportedly confirmed it's going to stop paying its warehouse workers that extra $2 an hour in coronavirus hazard pay.
Amazon's unlimited unpaid leave policy ended on May 1st.
That means if you have coronavirus, you are expected to still show up to work even after 2 weeks have passed.
I have lupus nephritis, which means my immune system
what do you
is
think
weak.
now? Are they walk or they're saying something and doing something else? What do you think now? So the same employees, they said about Amazon, we don't want your thank you ad. We want to be paid well and we want to be feeling safe. So what do you think now about Amazon? Are they walking the talk? Hello? Are you here? They were only faking, yes. So they were not authentic. You understand what I mean now? So they were not authentic. They said something, they said sweet things about how they care about their people and how they really support them and they pay them well and they care about their safety and thank you so much. And they're, wow, they are, I was going to cry actually. And then the reality is people were protesting, people were striking, people were saying, we don't want the thank you, we want to be safe, we want to be valued. Okay, so actually, maybe they weren't sincere the first time. We don't need sweet talks, but good reality. Yes, yes, sure. So they were not actually authentic. And this is what I mean by walk the talk. When you say something, you have to do what you're saying. You don't have to fake it because people are going to know. Both ads went viral on the media. They were both there on YouTube. So whom are you faking? You're faking your customer or you're faking yourself. So this is what we mean by walk the talk is you have to be honest. You have to say what you actually do because people are going to know. Very easy nowadays to know if you're faking it or talking real. Okay, so this is strategy number 6. Is it clear? Another thing was the NFL. They 3 years ago they punished players because they were kneeling when the national anthem was played in the playground. So they were punished for that. And a couple of months ago, they were talking about that things related to racism and how they have to stop that and how they have to be they have to care about America's welfare and that people are equal and things like that. They were talking about equality and their actions were against what they were saying. So this is also an example of you were not actually walking the talk. Okay, so this is also another example of saying something and doing something else. We have another strategy, which is the strategy of apologize. It's very important to apologize to your audience and to your market and to your customers. We had a brand which is called, it's an Egyptian brand, which is called the Sunny. It's an oil brand. They had this campaign which said, I'm going to say it in Arabic and then I'm going to say it in English. It was called "Inti مش عانس, Inti أقوى من المثل." Okay. So what we mean by this, عانس means what I'm saying, and in Arabic means a girl who's old in age and she was not married. So they're saying we have, يعني, you're more strong than any proverb that is said in Arabic. When they did this campaign, the women went so mad because, we don't point fingers and say, oh my God, you're old, you're not married. How come you're old and you're not married? We don't do this. It's against our cultural norms in Egypt. So how can we accept such a campaign where people are pointing fingers and saying, "Oh my God, you're old, you're not married"? We cannot accept that. So after the media, of course, social media, there were rage and people were anxious and people really, especially women, they were against this campaign. They did another campaign as a source of apology, which is I'm going to say it in Arabic and then in English. أنت أقوى من أي مثل أنت المثل. So you're much better than any proverb. You are the model. You are the role model, regardless of any situation you're into. But you are a role model. You are a woman. You have to be proud and blah blah blah. Okay, so they did something that was against the market and against their customers. They had to apologize, and by providing an apology, you are being real because you did something wrong. You have to say I'm sorry. You have to say that yeah, and this is what wasn't actually what I mean, and things like that. And you have to provide another thing as a makeup to your audience. So providing an apology isn't really bad. It's being authentic because you did something wrong to your audience and to your market. So you have to tell them that you are sorry and you have to make it up for them. This is another a very good strategy if you want to be authentic. Another thing which is really very nice, which is pulling back the curtain on your operation, showing your operations from time to time, showing what you're doing and letting your audience see your operations and how things are going from time to time is really very good to let them see what's there behind the scene. To share with them your moments, to share with them your hard work and your passion and things like that. It's really very important. Reformation Factory did that on Instagram, and they showed, as you can see here, they showed cutting team, they showed what they're doing, how they're doing it, and things like that. Another thing, if you remember, to explain something, it's mean that you're caring about your customer. Yes, very good, Sondus. Another thing, which is, we had in Egypt, Heinz, the brand Heinz, had a very problematic issue when a news went viral, and people were saying that tomato in the factories were ruined, I guess, and they were not really good quality, and people were asking for boycott, and people didn't like Heinz at that time. What Heinz did, although it was late as an action, but what they did is that they shooted a video showing the factory operation and how they clean the tomatoes and how they process it and things like that. But unfortunately, it wasn't real. It wasn't authentic. People didn't believe that. Why? Because it was videoed uh, uh, film. It wasn't a live action as Reformation Factory. People want to see live action. They want to see your factory live so that they can believe you. And you have to be quick. You have to have quick actions. Actually, what they did is that they left the Facebook and the media talking to themselves for like 4 days, and then they came up with this video. So that's why they were not viewed as authentic, and people didn't actually believe that this is a reality. They believed that this was fake. Why? Because it was not a live thing. People nowadays, they go with live streams, they go with live videos, so that they can actually see what you're doing, what are your operations, how you're running things, how you're doing things. If you want to be authentic, let people show, let the show your customers what you're doing live. Okay, just pull your curtain, and you are going to be authentic. Number 9, which is level up your frequently asked questions. This part is really very important in your website. A very good thing that OtterBox is doing is that they're doing this FAQ for each and every brand, and they have a button where the customer could frequently ask questions and frequently get their answers, so that they are updated with things that they want to know about the brands, and things that they want to do and things they want to ask for. So this part is really very important. Some of the websites, they have this part not modified, and whenever you ask a question, you sit for ages until you are answered. So this makes the customer so frustrated, and it's a very good way to have communication with your customers and to answer your customers on frequently based. So this part is really very important. You have to focus on that part when it comes to whether we're talking about your website, or even if your customers are asking questions on your social media platforms. You have to be there. You have to be quick. You have to answer them fast, because this is an area of frustration. If you want to be real, if you want to be authentic, you have to take care about this game. Number 10, which is something which is really very important, I believe, it's all about people you hire. Uh, the people you hire are considered as your mirror. If you look at Disney people, if you look at Trader Joe's employees, you are going to find that those are very, very, very special employees. They are happy to help. They are energetic. They have they are willing to serve you well. So it's really very important to hire for attitude and train for skills. So make sure you have this right. You hire for attitude. You have to make sure that you're hiring the right attitude to your business, because those are your mirrors. Your employees are your internal customers. If they are satisfied, your external customers are going to be not satisfied. You have ruined your business, because they are the people who are working with with they are the people who are servicing your customer. So you have to make sure that they are serving them well. You can find, as you can see, people from Disney are serving with a smile. Trader Joe's employees are يعني, showing warmth, and they're showing welcome. They're showing empathy. They really care. So uh, make sure that you're hiring the right people, and you're focusing on training them to have better skills. Make sure that you have this right. Hire for attitude and train for skills. Okay. Number 11, which is stop sugarcoating everything. You don't need to tell your customer that everything is okay, and everything is wonderful, and you're the best business ever, and you're doing a great job. No, you need to tell your customer that it has been a rough time, that in COVID-19 you've been suffering, you had problems, you had issues. You're trying so hard in order to serve them and to to provide them with better service that they're looking for, you have to be transparent. You have to show them the issues that are running into your company. This is the emotional part. Get your customer touched by emotion. You will never receive love if there is no emotion. And they are not going to have emotion if you are the Mr. Perfect brand. There are no Mr. Perfect brands. And if you all the time you're polishing yourself, you're trying to glamour yourself, you're trying to show that you're the perfect brand ever, I'm sorry, they are not going to believe you. You're not authentic. You're not pure. You're not true. You're fake. So you don't need to sugarcoat yourself all the time. You need to be authentic. Tell your customer what you've been through, what you're suffering. They are going to be there for you. They are going to support you because you're telling them the truth. Okay. Another strategy, which is very important, which is take a stand. People are really attached with 64% of the customers are attached to brands that stand up for social issues. That they do have a saying and a word regarding the racism or regarding issues that are happening to our planet. So it's a huge percentage that we need to focus on. Let me give you an example here. Let's have a look at this example. Okay, so quickly tell me, what do you think about Nike? How did you feel about this ad? Was Nike standing up for something, or what do you think? Yes, it's very important to use the emotional part. Yes. So what do you think about Nike? Was Nike standing up for racism? Did you feel that they are doing it? I love it. So do you feel that Nike was standing for the racism issue that happened in America? Okay, because we are running out of time. So as I told you, yes. Actually, it's Nike way of standing up. You know, Nike did the first ads for veiled women, so they stood up for that, and they did ads for standing up for racism and standing up for our society, and they do have this huge history for standing up for social issues. So they are really very, very authentic when it comes to Nike. Number 13, which is giving up to the community. As you can see, here the retailer Patagonia, they donated $10 million for the community because they had a cut in taxes, and they donated this amount to the community. We have many things. We have brand ambassadors. We have Nike always giving up to the community. We have many of the companies that are engaged in the CSR programs, which is the corporate social responsibility. They capture the heart of 40% of the public reputation, because they're doing great to the community, they're giving up to the community, and they really care about the community. Also, we have Airbnb. They did a campaign for donations for the refugees, and they raised $1 million for that. They had host critical care people who have critical health issues, and they want people to help them. They did do many things so that they can give back to the community. Actually, I know I'm running out of time, so those are the quick capsules, the 13 capsules that you can use so that you can take to your brand to the authenticity level, and you can reach your brand love. And we know that brand love can be reached through loyalty. It could be reached through community engagement. Those things could be reached through authenticity. And definitely authenticity is the only way, especially in our world today, as the whole world is an open place. Everyone can know everything, and you cannot fake customers anymore. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much, Wadwani, for having me today in this masterclass. It has been an honor, and I loved it today. I loved the company, and thank you so much, my dear audience, for your listening and for your participation as well. Thank you so much.